All right, police have just taken the dumpster away. They moved in on a dumpster right there. All right, so if you're just joining us, the WeSpa has been activated on all four corners in front of it today. The spa itself, I believe, has been closed. This is a good example of what's called the three-way fight, in a sense that in the first volley or first round, you had right-wing protesters that showed up, many from the religious right, to protest, and they were attacked on the spot here on Wilshire. Now you have a dumpster fire that was lit by a new group that called this, actually, called SoCal Antifa on Twitter. And this is their, after 2 months of being on Twitter, it looks like this is their entree into the activism scene. So what we saw was right-wingers come and get attacked. Then we saw some fighting back. And now we see a dumpster fire here on Wilshire that police just moved in on and isolated the dumpster fire and pushed the activists back. So now the police are on both the east side and the north side of the Wilshire Rampart intersection. And it's been an exhausting couple hours of watching mobs roam around and attack people, really. Now someone's saying, let's go home. But it was a couple of tense clashes, all-out brawls. Thrown water bottles, the whole kind of thing. Now the police are moving in. And we'll see what happens. But it looks like a kind of a kettling that's going on between Black Bloc activists and police. Yes, the last stream was very shaky because I was more worried about, it's a different thing. When the right is going against the left, so my last live stream was a little shaky, I will admit, and it was a dangerous kind of thing. This is a standoff between police and activists, but to be caught in the middle of the right-left thing, you never know who's going to think you're what. All right, well, this seems to be it. I think that was the grand finale. I've been here since before 10 a.m., maybe like 9:45 a.m. A lot of my stuff I did, some stuff I wasn't streaming. Um, so, kind of the point of this was just to see. Maybe rested a couple. Yeah. What's going on here? More shenanigans. All right, where to start? Oh man, did I get a ticket? I hope I didn't get a ticket. I left my car a little long. Well, that's it. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and feel free to ask. I was here the whole time, saw it all. As usual, I streamed for a little, but I was more worried about myself, I'm not gonna lie. Just getting swept up in the whole thing. They call it the three-way fight because it's activists not just against the right wing or the religious right, but they're also against the police. And if you're perceived as being supportive of either, then all of a sudden you get swept up and they're against you. It's the easiest way that I can define what this last year has been of going to these actions. But it was predictable fairly because you had an account that was called SoCal Antifa that tweeted this out. The police are running away or retreating, it looks like. I think this is done. Another chapter in the book. Another chapter in the book. Good, I didn't get a ticket. The funny thing is that the issue itself was never even addressed or talked about. Oh, it was people just wanted to fight, and the right wing. I don't, I'm not religious. I'm not, but they showed up to protest, and the right was denied. Um, the first people to show up before 11 a.m. were attacked on the street. Just plain and simple. They were attacked, or assaulted. The police took a long time to kind of mobilize, and maybe they didn't realize, but it was a slow progression, a slow build of officers throughout the morning into the afternoon. And by the end, they had successfully separated any right-wing protesters from entering the vicinity where they would have been jumped by the left-wing activists, the Antifa. Look, there's a Twitter account called SoCal Antifa that organized this event. So, at this point, it's all out in the open. Nobody's pretending there's something that they're not. These were Antifa activists jumping right-wing protesters. That's how it started. Now, some of them fought back. One guy had a baseball bat, others had pepper spray, and they fought back. And then you saw some sort of, right-wing characters that you see in this Los Angeles scene that were intent on standing up to this mob. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea because they had the numbers and they were here to fight. So that just broke down into smaller brawls. I guess you could say it was kind of like being in Portland. The police stood down. In the end, the right-wing activists were pushed out, and then the Antifa group set a dumpster fire, and the police then moved in on the dumpster fire. There were some moments where the activists were straight up scuffling with the police, and yet it didn't seem that there were any arrests on that end for whatever reason. I mean, that would be my question to the city of LA, which is the only guy that I saw got arrested was he's kind of a gangbanger type. He was shirtless, tons of tattoos, bald, Latino dude who was talking about Jesus, and so he got into it with the protesters, and then he was arrested by police. And he's the only guy I saw get arrested. There were no arrests. So for all the craziness that went on, the police had I would say, a pretty passive role. But they did manage in the end to separate the right wing and the left wing people. Anyway, that's all for me. I'm going to get out of here. It's a beautiful weekend. What the hell am I doing? Y'all take care. Have a wonderful 4th of July.